Hello, it's me, Pez Flips. Today we have my Belly Plus Kraken 1-to-1 70-75 clone. And today, I figured I was going to talk about some hot takes that I have. And we are going to be following a really well-made list by yours truly. It's right here. And we'll go down this list as we need to. But if you pause and you're able to read my handwriting, then you kind of have an idea of what we're going to be talking about today. So, let's just get right into it. So the first one, and I might be guilty of this too sometimes, is I think that having too low a frame rate at times just doesn't look good. Now, this can be for a variety of factors, and one of the most common is that people are just flipping too fast. I think if you try to slow down a little bit and having on 30 FPS, it's not going to look that bad. But if you have some dude ripping tricks so quickly, you kind of lose what's going on, and some people prefer that. But again, hot take. I just think it makes it look a little more jarring, and you're not actually getting that impressive look because there's just not enough visual information to show it. I know some people, they try to go for the filmic route and go 24 point something, and it just doesn't really look good. So I don't know. I don't even know if I was in frame that whole time. I was kind of going ham though. So yeah, I would say low frame rate looks bad, but equally so, the no shutter priority filming also looks kind of bad. You have to be a flowy MF to pull off that kind of stuff on just the default camera. I have this just it's like the quote-unquote default iOS camera, but I have the action mode on, which is why it prioritizes shutter speed so that there's clarity instead of motion blur on the flips. And that motion blur I just don't think looks great, or not a lot of frames. So, moving on to the next one. Too close. Now, I'm flipping at 0.5 lens, and I think that just gives me more breathing room. But some people, they have only had the 0.1 zoom, and, I feel bad for you, right? Because that sucks. But, it's going to look like this. Oh, probably shouldn't tilt to the side. And, it looks clear, right? But, I have to have this thing so close to my mouth. It already kind of is. But I feel like you can't see a whole lot because of that. There's not a lot of additional view, and it's claustrophobic flipping it this high. And also the autofocus kind of loses itself sometimes. I mean, it's nice to be able to see what the fingers are really doing, but I just think that the 0.5 looks so much better. And it also gives the person flipping a little bit of an easier time because you're not trying to basically slap yourself in the face with a phone. So it's just easier for everybody. And as the viewer, I would say it makes a difference as well. So too close is bad. I mean, I guess if you're filming super far away from this, then it's not going to look good either. But another one that just comes to my head, I think, my screw's backing out. I don't have my screwdriver with me. I think that framed flips also look kind of lame. I just don't think that flipping from a third-person perspective really looks that cool. And, there are certain tricks that will look better, and that kind of goes into, ballet comp stuff, because I know that, I watched a video a long time ago with, James Hill or something, and he's, a ballet comp guy, and he was saying how they prioritize stuff like aerials a lot higher than other tricks, and I think part of that is that aerials from an external perspective, from a spectator's perspective, is going to look a lot better than other tricks, because you just don't have that clarity that you get from the first person point of view. So if I'm going to do something between my fingers, right, they aren't going to be able to see that from the outside, so it's just less exciting. So yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason that I prefer fans, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose. So, moving on to the next one. That says smooth. I think that smooth flipping is the most important thing that you can do as a flipper. Learning new tricks is obviously, fundamentally how you do stuff on the thing, right? But if you're going to learn the trick, learn to do it smooth. That means that, you're not flipping way out left and right. Your wrist is basically standing still. I mean, you can move your wrist for, I would say, an artistic flow. So if I come out here and then bring it up, something like a big one, I don't know. I'm trying to think of when you would be able to use it. Yeah, if I go and drop it down, and then it makes the aerial look more exciting, I guess. I don't know. But I would say that having flowy flips is the most appealing thing. And I'm going to get into this a little bit later. Actually, it looks like I don't have it really, written on there. I think that fast flipping is visually unappealing. I think that people just rip in super fast. I don't even know if I can do it. It feels like too ADHD, not smooth. And here you can see with that frame rate, you just kind of lose everything because of that. And I feel like, you're not getting that art. And then having something really smooth like this, slower, it's both easier to do, I would argue. And, just from a perspective's, third person perspective, or from filming clips and watching other people's clips, I think it just looks cooler because you can kind of see everything that's going on, and it's more impressive then because you can tell all the different tech and flow that they're doing. I just think that fast flipping and by extension smooth flipping are the things to prioritize, in the sense that you don't want to necessarily go fast. You want to just be able to do the trick and look effortless, because that's essentially what flow is being very smooth and by extension looking very, the trick looking very easy. Another thing of mine, a hot take for me, is that I think the Chaplin can be okay, but I think the Chaplin is kind of bad looking. And this is just my Chaplin. And I know some people have some pretty clean ones, but I've just never really been able to do it so tight. And I know that Chaplins depend on the Balisong, right? If you have a really handle-biased Balisong, holding a tighter Chaplin is going to be a lot easier, because the thing's going to grip around your finger a lot more comfortably, and you can pull off stuff like a tight Chaplin easier because of that, right? Let's see. Next one. Dark. It says dark. So, I actually have this one. Bulky. I think some knives look really fucking ugly. Everyone always talks about how the JW Monarch is an amazing thing. And yeah, sure, price-wise, for the materials and the build quality, you're getting something great. People comment on the look of it. I know. Look is a subjective thing. But that is an ugly knife. I can't tell you. These really big bulky knives, especially the ones that have a significant amount of material at the top, I know that is, from a performance perspective, going to give you something that is a lot better, because it's going to be able to carry momentum, fan easier, etc. But I just think it separates too much from the traditional media. And that's not me trying to be what is traditional is right. I suppose by making that claim I am. But I just think that, the bulky stuff, simply put, looks ugly. It's my hot take. I don't know. I would prefer a lot slimmer designs, more minimal, less busy. The busier it is, it just aesthetically, I think, looks not clean. I just think that it's harder to make things look simple and clean than it is to actually pull off a busy looking knife. I think anyone really can just put a shit ton of cutouts in it. And yeah, you need a good machine to be able to do that stuff, but to what avail? You know what I mean? The design suffers because of that. I don't know. Hot take. Next one is dark, like I said. Now, I know a few YouTubers who are absolutely awful at this, that Wesh guy that I was telling you guys about, the tech YouTuber. Yeah, that guy films like he's in his basement or something. You can barely see any light when he posts a clip because he's only getting like the light from his blinds. And it's fine, you flip however you want to, but if I can't even really tell what's going on, not to mention that dude has a black Kraken, like a fully inked Kraken. And yeah, it's beat up, so you can really see quite a bit more. But if I can't tell what's going on, like, what's the point of recording the clip, Like, at some point, you just have to realize that your environment's going to have to change. Sorry about this, guys. Your environment's going to have to change. You're going to have to put on more lights or something so that from the perspective of the audience, they can actually tell what's going on. Because the whole point is that you're seeing somebody spin something between their fingers. And it's like something that's hard to do, visually impressive because it's hard to do. But if you can't see anything going on, what the heck? What's the point? So yeah, buy a lamp, turn on your light, turn your flash on or something. Just don't be filming a clip in the dark if you can avoid it. And I know. You're going to say, oh, but Pez, you have posted clips in the dark. Hey, I'm not perfect, okay? We all make mistakes. So yeah, just try not to film in the dark if you're going to be hitting a clip. It's ultimately your choice. It's just a clip. Who cares? But hey, hot take. Again. Next one is... Oh, it's actually the last one. You see that? It's beat for no reason. Now, I don't know if any of you are active on the Balisong or Balisong clones subreddits, but I don't think it's as prevalent now. But there has been a trend where people just, for no reason, will just take their, usually it's a grail, because that's what, like, gets engagement, right? And they'll just, like, be flipping, blah, 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 and then they just throw it on the ground. And in reality, the truth behind doing something like that, I think, mostly is for engagement. People are going to be upset about it, and they're going to talk about it. And that comment is going to give that post more traction. More people are going to see it, and therefore you're going to have a more successful video. But the thing is, like, I beat my Balisongs, right? There's some of them that I don't, but most of them I do. And that's me just, like, trying not to feel like the product owns me, but I own the product, and trying to get the most utility I can out of these guys. And that involves, not worrying about them hitting the ground. My Tsunami, right? That one I'll baby because I don't want it to hit the ground because I want it to look nice. And also the tolerances won't really hold if I drop it. Like this guy, I need to Loctite it, blah, blah, blah. But like, to do it for no purpose, it just screams like, give me attention. And hey, you're a knife, you can do whatever you want. But the motivation feels very external, or at least rooted in something that is arguably very superficial, which is getting more views, getting more comments. I'm respecting my my property, I suppose, by not senselessly beating it. I don't think that's too crazy to say. So, yeah. I mean, that's really all the hot takes I can think of right now, as my leg list has so indicated. Let's see if we can hit a giraffe. Okay, first try. We get 3 here. Okay, I'm not even doing the giraffe yet. Here we go. Okay, that's 2. Okay, that doesn't count. Well, one more try. Ooh, that was almost it. Well, one of these days, guys, we're going to get that giraffe on camera, and you guys are going to be so freaking hyped. But until that day, I guess you can just, cry. But, yeah, this has been Pez Flips. Some hot takes for you. And I have a video in mind that might not be in front of this camera, but recorded on my computer. But we'll just see. Until that time, hope you guys have an excellent evening, excellent morning. Maybe start your day with a really good bowel movement, But, yeah, see you guys later. Bye.